I think that was the key to me selecting ANAM, the individual freedom that it gives each student.
It was an amazing opportunity to work with the best international guest artists.
I wanted to specialise in performance.
It was the most exciting place in Australasia to study.
Finding the vision for ANAM to make it the unique training institution it is, we just figured, well, what if there were a place where students at that age can experience things that we wished we had experienced at that age?
It's one thing I remember, as a student, when you play in a small room, it's really hard to develop your sound and get a sense of what it's going to be like. So to have access to these wonderful halls and large spaces, which they can just by booking them.
To work alongside professional musicians, outstanding professional musicians like they get to do here, is such an honour for the students. And I really see them inspired and reaching to be better and striving for more as a result of that influence.
The faculty around me are all leading players, whether they're in the Australian Chamber Orchestra, the Melbourne Symphony or the Sydney Symphony. They're drawn from all around the country.
I suppose one of our mantras at ANAM is learning by doing. Whether it's the artistic director or any members of the faculty or some of our extraordinary visiting artists, we share the stage with our musicians and perform alongside them.
What's so wonderful about ANAM in the fact that it is a performance-based institution is that they then get to take these skills that they've learned and apply them in a chamber music or orchestral setting really at the very highest level.
It's a bread and butter program to help prepare for auditions. It might be auditions for further study in Europe or America. It could be for blind auditions for an orchestra. We spend a lot of time working on the repertoire that's used for auditions and for competitions around the world.
If you're a successful musician, you don't really have days off anymore. Things just come in all the time. And you've got to learn how to deal with that kind of stress and that workload, and ANAM does that very well.
We are mentoring them in the practicalities of being a performing musician. So that means the nitty-gritty, hands-on, what it means every day to get into that practice room, practice in a way that is efficient and effectively permitting them to be able to regularly perform and be on top of an extraordinary eclectic variety of styles and genres of music making.
I think the idea of tailoring the study to the individual student is a really important part of ANAM. And it's because we don't do exams as such. We have meetings at the beginning of every term with the artistic director and your teacher, discussing exactly what you want to do in the months ahead and also where that's going to lead you in the years ahead.
I love to tell people that I'm still playing the piano, and of course, what does that mean? It means that I'm doing the things that I always really wanted to do, but more importantly, the things that in my early 20s I questioned whether I could do it or not, and that was to play recitals. The reason why I turned up to all those lessons every week, suffered through all those moments of insecurity.
We're looking for students, I think, that want to make performance their life, their career. It's about performers, it's about people that want to be chamber musicians, be orchestral players, be soloists, be whatever you want to do within the performance sphere.
Unlike most of the tertiary institutions within Australia, ANAM essentially has a professional performance aspect to the course, and the students are expected to prepare in the way that a professional orchestra would for these events.
do have 180 public concerts a year. No, it's quite an intensive program. But stage miles are incredibly important.
Someone described it as the closest you can get to being in the profession without actually being in the profession. So much of what we do here is organised on a professional basis. So all of the concert projects will take place within the time frame of professional outcome. We have amazing guest conductors and other visiting staff.
It's more than I'd ever dreamed of, really. I mean, before I came, and I knew they were very good and everyone had told me how good they were, but I still didn't imagine that it could get to this.